Welcome, racing fans, to the one, the only motorsportsradio.net. A crazy, crazy one on Sunday, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series racing, and a little bonus brawl afterwards. Stick around, it's time for the Motorsports Radio Las Vegas Breakdown. Alright, it was the Cobalt 400 on Sunday, which in 2018 will be known as the Pennzoil 400. The first of three in NASCAR's West Coast swing. Brad Keselowski starts in the pole position. Then with John Fogerty given the command, the top three start positions here: Keselowski, Truex Jr., and Ryan Blaney. 278 and the 21. Temperature is 78 degrees air temp and 103 degrees track temperature. Matt Kenseth and Kyle Larson starting in 4th and 5th respectively. Las Vegas, the gambling capital of the world. And while the roulette wheels were spinning and the dice were rolling, 40 badass racing machines roll out onto the sun-drenched asphalt for another Sunday fun day of racing. A couple of drivers got sent to the back. Danica Patrick, Stenhouse Jr., and Timmy Hill. Green flag in the air, and they are off at 3:48 p.m. Eastern Time in a crazy fast first lap. Keselowski leads the field into lap 2 with a see you later fast break. Top 3, lap 3, Keselowski, Truex Jr., and Kyle Larson, who climbed up to 3rd. And crazy fast hitting the 185 mile per hour mark. Kenseth running 6th, Ryan Blaney 4th as they close the first 15. And then we get our first caution at lap 18. This is for Corey LaJoie's 83 car, gets into the wall. Pretty big damage here. The right side tire, front right, just shattered, shredded, and that 83 smoking like crazy and gets into the infield wall. May have contacted the outside wall a little bit, kind of what it looked like from my angle. But we get back to green. Race would restart at lap 25 with Truex Jr. now the race leader. Keselowski in second, race off pit road, and restarting third, Joey Logano. So now we got the 78, 2, and the double 2. But as the field kind of eases over the start-finish line, quickly starts to speed up, and quickly Brad Keselowski would retake the lead. But up front, Keselowski a full second lead at lap 45. On the still second place, Truex Jr. Lap 50, 1.5 seconds. At lap 55, it was 2.5, 2.466. Then we get question number 2, lap 70. This would be, I think it was actually lap 68 or 69, but I can't believe this one either. Kevin Harvick into the wall. Another crazy one. Another tire, right front just shattered, and just shattered that right front quarter pound, similar to Corey LaJoie's incident. Joe Logano now becomes a new race leader, which anybody saw this one. They chose not to pit, okay, with 10 laps to go in the first stage. Todd Gordon, crew chief, decision, trying to get some points. Logano restarts first, McMurray second. Keselowski, I think, we started third, but I think it was Truex Jr. The board kept switching around. Well, we go back to green lap 75, and Logano McMurray side by side, and which kind of just botched Logano's restart, leaving room for Truex Jr. To make a crazy pass with that 78. So if the Logano's logistics, Truex Jr. would steal the spotlight, and Logano then drop down to 17th. So now we have Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, and McMurray in the top 3. And the first stage of Sunday's race comes to a close at lap 80. An eventful 5 laps here. And here are the results. So stage 1 in order. Truex Jr. for the win. Kyle Larson comes in second. Ryan Blaney third. Fourth would be Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott in fifth. That would be the 78, 42, 21, 2, and the 24. Truex Jr. gets 10 points here, plus 1 playoff point. He would wind up getting 60 points on Sunday as he swept all 3 stages. Stage 2, starting order, Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Keselowski, first, second, third, Elliott fourth, and then we have Dale Jr. in fifth. and then we get started at lap 88. But Truex Jr. taking care of business now. And really, if you saw this race yesterday, it was a battle between Keselowski and Truex Jr., but it was pretty clear that Truex Jr. had the faster car. So far, an exciting race at this point. It was an exciting race, I thought. I think it was a little bit more exciting than the week before. But as the 78 starts blowing by some lap traffic with a full second lead now at lap 95 on second place, Kyle Larson, Truex Jr.'s new teammate, Eric Jones with the double 7. He was running 5th at the time. Then we get to lap 98. Keselowski gets by, takes second. Truex Jr.'s lead now only 1.5 seconds. Then we get to lap 100. But Chase Elliott now running 3rd. Larson running 4th. Dale Jr. maintaining his 5th place position. Lap 114, Truex Jr.'s lead now over 2.5 seconds. A full 3 seconds just one lap later. But at this point, as I said, it was clear Truex Jr. had the faster car. Now inside that last 40 of stage 2, a round of green flag pit stops here. A long stretch of green flag racing up until now. And of course, and then as you know, the positions get you get a bunch of lead changes during green flag pit stops. Usually you see someone that's never in the lead, like Danica Patrick or somebody. And then they're not going to be up there for too long. Truex Jr. back in the lead, though, after this round of green flag pit stops. Chase Elliott gets back into 3rd. Keselowski in 2nd. Keselowski in 3rd. And then we got Jimmy Johnson now running 5th. And Truex Jr. had a 3.5 second lead on Chase Elliott, lap 143. Just 18 cars on the lead lap. But then we get caution number 4, which I believe was lap 152. Could have been lap 153. This would be for Derek Cope, who gets loose. That would be the 55 car. And then the restart lap 156. But now we got Jimmy Johnson, the race leader. He did not pit this time. If you saw this, everybody was wondering how long it was going to take for him to come down pit road. And then we have Kurt Busch behind him starting 2nd. Truex Jr. down in 3rd. Kurt Busch did not pit either, but the question was, how long would Jimmy Johnson maintain the lead? Answer, not for long, because Truex Jr. overtakes once again, and to retake that lead. Johnson and Kurt Busch tried to pull a Logano move here, but not coming in. Of course, it wasn't a restart here. It was on the green flag pit stop. But Truex Jr., Keselowski, Kyle Larson, the top 3 now in the last laps of stage 2, which would wrap up at lap 160. And Truex Jr. comes away as the winner here as well. With a little contact between Logano and Chase Elliott as the field crosses the start-finish line. But the top 5 finishing order here for stage 2. Truex Jr. for the win. Another 10 points plus another playoff point. Keselowski comes in 2nd. Kyle Larson 3rd. Chase Elliott 4th. 5th would be Joey Logano, 78-2, 42-24, and the 22. Now we have 107 lap competition to see who takes the checkered flag at Las Vegas. Truex Jr. in front, Keselowski, Elliott 2nd and 3rd. Stage 3 starts at lap 169, and then lap 170 would start the last 100 laps. Okay, don't forget that the laps keep getting counted even in the segment breaks. And then of course, now a slight brush with the wall for Kurt Busch here. A battle for 3rd between a little battle for 3rd between Elliott and Logano here too. Lap 170, Juan A. Fox, crank it up. Landon Castle's 34 also trades some paint with the wall. No caution here. And here's a question, folks. Liking the new Toyota grills? Are you liking the Toyota grills? That's the question here. Interested in what folks have to say. But speaking of Toyotas, Kyle Busch now back in 5th. Kyle Busch was making some headlines last year at the beginning of the 2016 season. But could Truex Jr. be the headline maker for the 2017 season? And of course, Kyle Busch made a headline after the race. We'll get to that. Truex Jr. got a little nervous. Saw that 78 drop down into the apron like around lap 199, and I thought there was trouble here, but he was just making a pass, getting by some lap traffic. Then we get to lap 202, and then we have a second round of green flag pit stops here. Kurt Busch having some power issues with his car. He'd be the first to come in. Jimmy Johnson takes the lead once again during this green flag pit cycle, but Truex Jr.'s he pits, comes back out running 2nd, and then cycles, green flag pit cycle still going through. But now we get to the final 50 now with 8 cars on the lead lap. So the final 50, which I think was 217, Jimmy Johnson still didn't pit this time. He came in final lap 225, as at 48 was determined to stay out there. which got a little interesting, but then lap 227, Johnson comes in, and then Truex Jr. reclaims the lead, Elliott up to second, and once again, Keselowski in third, but Kyle Busch, he's up in fourth, a threat potential here, but Logano was running fifth, also a threat potential, though some folks might think Kyle Busch might be more of a threat, but however, Keselowski, he'd move up to second, Elliott chasing down that 78 car now, and Truex Jr. lead just 0.2 of a second. So, Keselowski at this point, with 25 to go, he gets into second and just chewing up Truex Jr.'s lead. And here comes that number 2 moving up on the inside of Truex Jr. and just swipes and gets into that first place spot. So now we got Truex Jr. chasing that number 2 car at lap 245. Maintained the lead for a little bit, but Keselowski's car started slowing down a little bit towards the end of this race on Sunday. So now we got that 78 chasing the 2 and leaving the field behind. The rest of the leaders, anyway, Keselowski's lead just 0.9 seconds though on Truex Jr. And then we get to question number 6. This would be for the number 10, starts shooting out smoke there, Danica Patrick, man. Victim of a blown engine, turn 1. Keselowski beating Truex Jr. on a race off pit road. They had that issue with Stenhouse Jr. with that axle sticking out there. So Keselowski gets back in first, Truex Jr. second, Chase Elliott third. Race starts restarts at lap 258 with just 23 cars now on the lead lap, thanks to some wave arounds. And in the no-blink zone inside the last 10, with actually 9 to go to be exact, the 2 to 78 side by side. And some nitty-gritty here, brief nitty-gritty. Then we had Kyle Larson hitting that gas, taking third. Okay, looked like he might want to try to make a run to take the lead, but then we get an elevated excitement factor here. Then we get to lap 262, the final 5, top 5, Keselowski, Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. And this is what led to the events that unfolded after the race. But first, here it is. That 78 rolls up, passing that number 2. At this point, Keselowski having some speed issues here, just gets by to get past Keselowski, retake that lead. We got the white flag in the air, lap 266, and man, oh man, Truex Jr. making a statement on this final lap. And would become the winner of the Cobalt 400, leading the most laps on Sunday, leading 150. Keselowski only led 89, but he just took charge. Once he got by Keselowski on that final lap, just took care of business here. And then Kyle Busch gets crazy loose on the final lap. Truex Jr. gets the checkered flag, however, and there you go. Post-race burnout rating, had to do it. I gave it A++, and really a crazy finish to a really good race. All right, so here's what happened. All right. So the scuffle between Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. The 18 and 22 contact and sends the 18 spinning sideways, not just sideways and stuff, and that's what happened. Exciting indeed, but Kyle Busch got a little roughed up, and what happened was, if you saw this race, and anyway, Kyle Busch basically just walked up to Joey Logano and started throwing some punches, and then you had this big pile of Kyle Busch's crew it just got into a little scuffle, and then Kyle Busch wound up on the ground, and his crew was just piled up on top of him. I don't know what was going on. It looked like football when they when the ball gets fumbled and they go pile up so I said, all right, this is interesting here, but Kyle Busch wound up getting a little battered up, bleeding on everything, so they sent him to the infield care center there, and really all you saw afterwards was just a pile of that, Kyle Busch and the crew. They got that mustardy yellow fire suit on, right, with the M&M on and everything. And just a big pile of mustard yellow fire suits, Kyle Busch in the middle, and standing on the side, a tall skinny guy with that bright yellow suit on. That was Joey Logano. So, interesting. But now they're talking about, from what I've been reading online and stuff, that if penalties get handed out, which they probably will, it might be just the crew, 18 crew, maybe some of the 22 crew, but maybe not the drivers. But I don't know. I mean, if Kyle Busch went up there and threw the first punch, then Kyle Busch should get penalized. But there was a survey on Twitter that was posted on Sunday, and it says 24% think that Kyle Busch should get penalized. 3% say Joey Logano. So it's going to be interesting here, but we'll keep